Well, good morning, everybody. This is going to take the place of our Friday Facebook Live, which did not happen on Friday. Thank you for those of you that hopped in to say you totally understand. And I think everybody probably had a busy holiday weekend planned. So we are back in the office today. I'm coming to you live from Fit for Life prior to seeing patients for the day. And I wanted to come in. There were no questions asked last week. So my thought was, there are many new people in this group, and some of you may not know my story, which by now maybe you've heard me say, everybody has a story and your story matters. Good morning, Carol. I wanted to take an opportunity to share for those of you that are in this group who may not know part of my story, the answer to the question, what is it that made you start your practice here at Fit for Life Physical Therapy? So I'll start by saying it's a two-part answer. The first answer to the question, what made you start your practice, is that I found myself in a season of my life where I felt out of balance. We had 4 kids, and I have always worked part-time. And for many, many years, that was working. It was always a challenge. Raising families always is, and being a working mom always comes with challenges. But it was working. Starting around 2019, our personal family started to go through a series of struggles that first started with my husband being diagnosed with prostate cancer. Second, within 6 months or so of that, of him successfully undergoing surgery and coming through cancer-free. Since then, I would sustain a concussion in a motor vehicle accident that left me unable to work for 7 weeks. That was really the season after those few things that I say God pushed me out of the car. I got pushed out of the car. That was the first time. It was time for me to make a change after 2 seasons of hard, with the ages of our children, being forced to sit in the quiet of life, that I realized I needed to do something different, and that I did feel that my physical therapy practice was a gift and a calling, and if I went and practiced somewhere else, it would feel very much the same. And it was in that season after that car accident that I really recognized that if I was going to do something different and achieve more balance in my life, that I was going to need to do something completely different. And that's where the idea of opening my own practice, being out of network with insurance, creating a different model per se, was something that I thought would allow me to do the things that I love to do, which is provide physical therapy, to also continue to provide an income for my family, which was necessary, but also to allow me to have more balance. And it was for times like Friday, right, with this past Friday, where I wanted to be at a track meet for my son. There are many, many times when I worked in network in a clinic where I missed things that my kids were involved in, particularly if they were in the evening. And so a large part of the incentive for me to start my own practice, believe it or not, as hard as it is it has allowed me to be a better, more balanced mom, to be able to take care of myself in the times that I'm not at work, and to be able to be present for my kids' things like a random track meet on a Friday. So that's sort of the very Cliff Notes version of the personal side of things. For those of you that do not know, Fit for Life Physical Therapy does have a YouTube channel. So you just go to YouTube and type in the name of the business and it should come up. So everybody in here should subscribe to that channel. Several years ago, I recorded a 4-part, well, I thought it was a 5-part series. I recorded 4 videos that share, it's called Strength for the Journey. So if you want a more in real time sharing of the story, each video talks about some 4 of the different seasons that we went through. I shared 2 just now. At the time, I thought it was a 5-part series. The 5th part never got recorded. There's probably more than 5 parts by now, because for those of you that know me, there's been a few other chapters in the last few years that I just have not recorded. So if you're interested in hearing more of that personal side of things, you can find it on our YouTube channel called Strength for the Journey. And someday maybe I'll feel called to share a few more chapters of that. But that will give you a little bit more of the details about each particular season that we went through. The second part of the answer to the question, what made you start Fit for Life, has a lot to do with what you've heard both myself and Raven speak about in the past. And that is, I felt called to create a space where I could treat patients, where we could treat patients in a way that we knew that needed to happen. And working in previous settings over the past 20 plus years of physical therapy practice, it was becoming increasingly difficult to provide the care that we know the patients need for them to truly be fit for life. And it's been 3+ years now, 3.5 years of doing this thing. And the more we do it, the longer I'm here and the more patients we continue to get to serve here in this safe place where we have time and we have focused attention and we can listen to your story. I believe even more so today that we are currently providing the care that is necessary for patients, that we are the change that our industry needs to see. And I couldn't be more blessed and I couldn't be more thankful to be here. So that's the answer to the question, what made you start Fit for Life Physical Therapy? This coming Friday, we should be back on track for regularly scheduled live. I may come in at a different time depending on how the day rolls out. If you have specific questions, they could be personal like this. Feel free to ask them either below this or when I put the prompt up in the group for taking questions. All right, thank you guys for listening. I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday and we look forward to seeing you here at Fit for Life.